Hey guys, FNAF22 here with another video, and in today's video, as you guys know, about a few weeks ago, we did my Mortal Kombat 1 roster wishlist, and now in today's video, we are going to be doing my Mortal Kombat 1 Cameo Fighter wishlist. Now, a few things I want to say before we get into this. First off, we are going to talk about the new Cameo Fighter DLC, which is 5 characters, and talk about kind of my opinion on that before we get into our wish list. And then second off, I do want to say that a lot of the Cameo Fighters have already been confirmed, not counting the Mortal Kombat characters like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, who we know are Cameo Fighters. We are only going to be talking about the characters who aren't playable. There's 17, and it looks like about 11 of them have been confirmed. So let's go over this DLC first. So we get 5 DLC Cameo Fighters when pre-ordering Mortal Kombat 1, and those characters have been confirmed, or supposedly been confirmed, to be Farah from MKX, not Tor, just Farah, just the little girl on her back. I don't really know how that's gonna work. Maybe you just grab her and you can throw her. She just does the same moves she does off of Tor, but with you, maybe. Then our second one is classic Johnny Cage. As you know, any playable character who gets turned into a cameo just gets their classic costume as a cameo. I don't really know how I feel about this. I feel like if there is going to be DLC Cameo Fighters, they should either match up with the actual combat packs, or they should be characters who we don't already have in the game. So I kind of feel like it's sucky that we're getting Johnny Cage even though he's already a playable character. But still, I know a lot of people care about that, and I still think it is overall pretty cool to have Johnny Cage also in the cameo slot. Then after that, of course, staying with the theme of our ninjas, we have Tremor, which is honestly kind of sad. Personally, I would have put Tremor in one of the combat packs because I really wanted Tremor to be playable in this game and see what they can do with him after he's been appearing in like all the animated stuff for Mortal Kombat. But it looks like Tremor might just be a DLC cameo fighter, which is still cool to see Tremor in the game. It just sucks that his inclusion had to be under a cameo fighter. And then with our final two, we have Movado, who has not been in a game for a long time, and I know a lot of people wanted to see Movado return as a playable character, maybe even in a combat pack. But personally, I think this is a good start to have Movado be a cameo fighter, and then if a lot more people see him as a cooler character, maybe he can return in the next Mortal Kombat game. So really cool, honestly, to see Movado returning, and this is one of the actual good picks for the DLC cameo fighters. And finally, it looks like our last one is Female Chameleon. Now, if you did not watch my roster wishlist, I put Female Chameleon on the base roster. Then we got to see her in the Umgadi trailer, and now it looks like she's going to be a cameo fighter. I'm really hoping that isn't true. I'm really hoping she is on the playable roster, and if not, I really hope they release a cameo fighter DLC combat pack down the line with like 5 or 6 characters who turn in from cameo fighters to playable characters. Overall, this is a pretty good DLC cameo fighter pack. It just makes me sad because I do feel that Tremor and Chameleon could have been real characters, and I feel like there should have been somebody to replace Johnny Cage. But overall, I do agree with Farah and Movado as some pretty decent picks. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the 17 cameo fighters. Now, we have 11 of them confirmed, so we're just going to go over the confirmed ones real quick, then we'll talk about my ideas for cameo fighters. First off, we have Sonya Blade, Jax, Kano, Goro, Striker, Cyrax, Sector, Frost, Darius, and Serena. Those 10 were all showed off in actual trailers for Mortal Kombat 1. Then at the number 11 spot, we have Motaro, who was showed off in that little teaser trailer with Reiko that has not fully came out yet. I've not fully seen the trailer, but from what people are saying, it looks like Reiko will be playable and Motaro will just be a cameo fighter, which is kind of sad because I was going to put Motaro as DLC for my wishlist personally, but it looks like those 11 characters are confirmed to just be cameo fighters and not playable characters. And overall, a pretty good selection so far. A few of these make me upset, like Cyrax, Sector, and Serena, who I feel like could have been playable characters, and of course Motaro. But now let's move on to the final 6 characters. These are all my wish lists, and obviously more will come out later, but these are the 6 other characters who I feel like should be cameo fighters. And starting things off with the first one that will probably disappoint a lot of people, I have Jade. Now, I know a lot of people want to see Jade return for Mortal Kombat 1, but with Tanya kind of taking the mantle of protecting the princess and also using a bow staff in combat, it does not look like Jade is going to be making her return for this game. Maybe she'll return as an NPC in the story mode, but personally, I would just make Jade a cameo fighter, as it makes sure we still get all the ninjas in this game, but it also makes sure that she doesn't have to be in the playable roster, as somebody has already kind of taken her mantle. So honestly, I would have Jade be a cameo fighter. This one does personally disappoint me. I have Noob Saibot. Now, if you guys don't know, Noob Saibot was my main in Mortal Kombat 11, and honestly, one of my favorite characters, just because I really like his story and how unique he is. But sadly, with Bihan still being alive, I don't think we need a Noob Saibot in this game, but since I know he is a very popular character, I can see them shoving him in as a cameo fighter or even a DLC character, but I do not see him popping up as a playable character in the main roster. And if he is a DLC or cameo, I feel like they will change his origin to just be like some random Shadow Wraith instead of being Bihan's Noob Saibot. But overall, I think Noob Saibot could be an actual fantastic cameo fighter, and I would love to see him be in the base roster as a cameo fighter, because it does not look like we're getting him as a playable character for Mortal Kombat 1. And personally, I think putting him in as a cameo fighter can kind of tease that soon Bihan could die again, or Kuai Liang maybe could die, and we could see Noob Saibot coming back for a later game. Then after Noob Saibot, I have Sindel. Now, I did make this list a little bit ago, and I know a lot of people do now believe that Sindel and Shao Kahn will both return for Mortal Kombat 1, but originally when I made this list, I did not think either of them would be returning, and I had Sindel in here as a cameo fighter. Now, I still think it's possible that Sindel is just an NPC in the story mode and a cameo fighter, and I think that would work best, as I know a lot of people do want to see her return, but personally, she was in MK9, she was in NPC in MKX, and then she was DLC in MK11. I don't really think she needs to return for Mortal Kombat 1, and I think it'd be better off just having her be a part of the story as an NPC, but then just having her be a cameo fighter instead of a main roster character. Just like Shao Kahn, I don't think he really needs to be in the game at all. I think he should just be an NPC, not even a cameo fighter. But overall, I would understand if Sindel came back as a main roster character, but I think she should just be a cameo fighter. Then, our final 3 cameo fighters, the first slot I'm giving up to is Scarlett. Now, I know a lot of people would love to see Scarlett return, as she is actually one of the more unique female ninja characters, but honestly, from what it looks like, we have no story for her in MK1, and I think, once again, just like Sindel, I think Scarlett should return as an NPC in the game, in the story mode, give her more character arc and more character development, and then have her be a cameo fighter in this game, and then in the next game, whatever they call it, Mortal Kombat 2, which would be weird. Anyways, in the next game, I would have Scarlett return on the playable roster, so I'd just put her in as an NPC and a cameo fighter for this game. Then in my second to last slot, we have male Chameleon. Now, originally on my roster, if you guys watched that, my roster wish list, I was hoping for female Chameleon to be a playable character, and then now I wanted male Chameleon to be the cameo fighter, so you could have both them in, but not have them both in the same slot. But it looks like Nether almost flipped the switch, and it doesn't even talk about male Chameleon, but has female Chameleon on the cameo fighter roster. I'm hoping that male Chameleon will at least be in the game. If they're gonna have female Chameleon be cameo, then I hope male Chameleon will be on the main roster. I hope we get both Chameleons in the game, so we can kind of have them interact with Reptile, as we know he is back now, and hopefully that gives us some kind of story arc. But for now, it does look like female Chameleon will be taking the slot on the cameo fighter wish list. And finally, at number 17 for my last cameo fighter, I came in with Shujinko. Now, it looks like Ed Boon has been teasing Shujinko to be on the main roster of playable characters, but with Liu Kang needing some kind of guidance, I think Shujinko and Bo Raicho should both be NPCs in the story mode, but then I would have Shujinko come back as a cameo fighter, maybe a lockable cameo fighter. I'm not really sure. I think it'd be really cool to have Shujinko as a cameo fighter, and then if they have some sort of love for Bo Raicho in this game, maybe he could come back as a DLC cameo fighter down the line, or even a DLC character. But either way, if Shujinko returns as a main roster character, I would not be surprised or mad, but I think it'd be really cool to have him in the game of some sort of way. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below who you guys want to see as cameo fighters, and also let me know if you guys like the DLC cameo fighter list that will be coming out with the first combat pack. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you will always be notified for when I drop another video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.